The Conversations with Chris. Today, my guest is the incredibly, insanely musically talented Jon Wyatt, who I've had the pleasure of working with. And I got to tell you, Jon, one of my favorite memories of you outside of your childhood music, outside of your time with the visuals, is the time that we rickrolled at Ha Ha Halton with the kazoos. Um,
Oh, yeah.
Still one of my favorite memories. I have the picture actually in my house of us doing that. And that was like, oh, geez, probably what, 5 years ago, something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, yeah, I gotta be close. Yeah, well, thanks for that wonderful introduction. Feels so special now.
Well, we're joined today with Jon Wyatt again. Like he touches instruments, and you just know how to do it. I don't know what it is, but you do. It's fabulous. But currently, you're in North Bay studying music.
That's right, music production. Yeah.
Well, okay, so walk me through North Bay music production, and you're there.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, like, I mean, I just have a bunch of classes that are related to the different sides of the production realm. I mean, we have classes like, there's the typical music production. We have had a Pro Tools class. We have recording music for film and TV. We have electronic music and digital editing, so that we can get some more like visual stuff in our arsenal of skills. As well as a music business. We have a class on that as well. So it's really just wake up, go to school, do music, and I mean I'll stay in the studio for hours. With this music production class. I mean it's a 6 hour class, but I'll show up an hour early and I'll leave 4 hours late because that's just I love it so much. I was always awful at school, and I'm just like, now that I'm here and I'm doing what I like to do, I'm killing it, and it's like it feels really good to be good at something.
Well, that's always that phrase, right? If you like what you do, you never work a day in your life, right?
100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, what's your inspiration behind music? Like when you go to write a song, what does that process look like?
It happens a lot of different ways. Like sometimes I'll write a song because of, I don't know. Oftentimes, if there's something to do with a romantic partner, like those feelings are really powerful, and so that kind of thing can sort of bubble up and just overflow with lyrics. But sometimes it's like I just want to dance, and sometimes it's just like that's what drives me. I start with a drum beat, and I'm like, man, this is grooving, and yeah, and I mean sometimes it starts with a guitar riff too, because I'm a guitar player before anything. So it really just it's kind of a shot in the dark a lot of the time. But it sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, like inspiration wise, I come from a background of so many genres. Like I mean, I grew up on classic rock, but I got really into metal for a while, and I love rap, and I love pop, and I love old music, like old R&B. My dad grew me up on rockabilly and Elvis, and yeah, so I mean, it's really just a mix of a lot of things that sort of go into my, musical taste. But yeah, as for myself, like I can't say that I've sort of settled on a genre, because it's just sort of it's all over the map. It's like whatever comes to me. I don't really want to discriminate because I'm like, oh, that's not me, because it is me in that moment. And I think the main goal of music is to be able to express an emotion and have it read to your listeners. And if your emotion in that moment is what you're actually feeling, like that's the best music that you're gonna write. And so that's sort of what I go by, is like I'm not trying to make music for other people. I'm trying to make music to as accurately capture the feeling that I'm feeling right now through sound, so that other people can understand it.
It's really neat when we talk about expressing our emotions and living in that moment. I mean, we're in a world of TikTok and Instagram and literally everything, right?
Mhm.
And we talk about living in the moment. Someone picks up their phone to say, "Look, I'm scraping the snow off of my car and give me 1,000 likes." And you're referring to getting in touch with you as emotions and living in that moment as you. We don't take enough time to stop and be like, "How's Jon doing?" Right? Like it's great that you have followers. It's great that we're watching you shovel snow in a funny way, and that's great for views and social media and influence, but how's the person doing? How's Jon?
Mhm.
Like if I said to you, "Jon, how's Jon doing?" What would that answer look like?
That would be like, wow, thank you for asking. How nobody asks you that anymore, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm great.
Um,
How are you? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I that is an important thing, to sort of, look out for your fellow beings, right? Your fellow friends and whatnot. Um, I mean, I think at the end of the day, like we're starting to with the whole social media thing, we're sort of starting to lose touch, not just with each other, but with ourselves. And I feel like a lot of the time we're looking through this window of beautiful things or even negative things, but it's just filling us with so many things that aren't right now, and it's sort of the ideal, and but it's just not reality. And so I think in a sense we're starting to lose touch with reality a little bit with that kind of stuff. um
Throw
but
on a
yeah, like
VR headset and then you're in virtual reality.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
Yeah,
it's like where does it end now? Yeah.
how can
I
I
mean,
make
that's cool.
your now better, right? But we lose touch with that you
Totally.
piece.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I wrote a song called "The Moment," and it was all about you know um, just not worrying about what other people are thinking about, and just worrying about what you actually perceive. Like it's just unhindered um, presence and awareness. And that I think that's really important, and that's a big message that I have in my music, and I intend to release more music with that message because I think it's important.
So when we talk about in the moment, we talk about these emotions. When you book that gig and you're about to play, what does that process look like for you? How do you get your head right, your body right, your emotions right before you pick up the guitar or drumsticks and play?
Well, when it comes to like playing live music, I'm at the point now where just like I've learned words and put those words into phrases and I don't have to think about speaking. I'm at that point with music where I have learned vocabulary and I don't really have to think about it. It just feels natural. And I'm really lucky because of that. So I mean, I don't get nervous when I go on the stage. It's like I got my guitar, I got all my gear, I know how to use it. And I'm not thinking about the scales anymore because I already know the scales, the same way that I know how to structure a sentence. And I'm thinking about the music now, the same way that I'm using my words to think about my intention that I want to get across. Um, so yeah, like I don't even think about it that much. When I go on stage, it's just I'm just gonna do my thing, and that's what it is. And generally, I do it, and a lot of the time I overdo it, and that's one of my flaws is I kind of go over the top sometimes. So I try to bring it down. Um, and when I can sort of like get that level of like almost overdoing it, but like not quite, it's like that's good. So that's really like the thing that I focus on is sort of my energy levels and trying not to, overload people with loud singing and crazy guitar solos and stuff like that. Like you gotta, sort of keep a steady
Yeah, do some
balance.
editing and rein it in a bit.
Yeah, yeah, some dynamics, right? You gotta have the high to have the low, right? And vice versa. But yeah, no, I the mindset I go in is just have a good time, have fun with it, and don't stress about it because that's what it's all about. And everybody has fun, It's like if I'm up there and I'm taking it super seriously, and I'm like, you know, I don't know, but if I'm not having fun with it, the audience isn't having fun with it. So that's the biggest thing is you have to be sort of that center of attention that can people are reflecting off of you. Everybody's looking at you, and if you're not there with a smile and laughs, and if you're not there being positive, then it's not going to be received positively, and it's not going to be a positive atmosphere. So that's like the main thing that I sort of strive for when I'm playing live music, is just to be as bubbly and happy and as you know uh, community engaging as possible. I really try to get my crowd engaged.
It's really it's neat when you say that because it's this, we pay for this ticket or we pay to see the show, whatever the case may be, and then you get there and if it's all doom and gloom and emo style, not everyone enjoys it, not everyone has a good time. And they say, ah man, this guy's not great. So when you have that buy-in from the audience or buy-in from the community and being interactive in that way, you have a positive time and everyone has a great and that dopamine rush kicks in, right?
Totally.
So when you had dropped the word community, I'm going to ask you, like, when we talk about community, what does that mean to you? Someone says, John, what does community mean to you?
To me, I mean, like community is obviously it's the people that are around you. but not just the people that are around you, specifically the people that you connect with. And it's, we're all really part of a big community, right? Just as the human race, we are a community, and it sort of gets subdivided lower and lower. And so, like, it could be, you could say that a community is Canadians, and you could say that a community is Guelph. You could say that a community is the people that are in the bar that night. And so, for me, I think that's a really important question to ask. Like, how do you define community? Because it's going to sort of change how you act, towards a community. I mean, if I'm in a room with my friend group, that's kind of a community, right? If have my friend group, maybe I'm gonna curse and make dark jokes and all that kind of stuff. But when I'm thinking about community as a wider audience, I'm definitely not gonna be doing that kind of stuff. So I mean, community is a really important word because it sort of has a connotation of like neighborliness as well. It sort of is connecting and networking with your fellow peoples. And so, yeah, it's an important word. Yeah, that's why, yeah, important. And community is important. And yeah, how you choose to compose yourself depends on how you, what is the size of the community that you're trying to appeal to.
Sure. No, it's a good answer. I mean, I always like to ask that because everyone has a different sense of belonging. And to your point, you do have this familiarity with your friends and coworkers and bar and community pieces. So yeah, it's just kind of one of those answers, like your questions that I like to say, what does that mean to you?
Right.
But no, I appreciate that. But you're with us here today, and you actually have a song that you have written. We're waiting on some cover art, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of a bit of an exclusive. Let's hear it whenever you're ready. I'd love to hear what you got for us.
Sure. So I'll give you a little rundown of what I'm doing here. So normally when I go to my live shows, I use my loop pedal down there, and I have another pedal. It's turns my guitar into like a bass sound. Okay. So what I'm gonna have to do, because I sort of ran out of chords, usually I rent some more stuff. So what I got to do is I'm gonna take my guitar, I'm gonna loop it in, and I'm gonna play a bass sound. And then I have to actually unplug my guitar. I'm gonna stick it into the drum kit, and just gonna put a little drum beat back there. And once that's all sort of going, then I'll sing the song. So
you know what, Joe?
yeah.
I'm gonna switch the view here for you, buddy. And whenever you're ready, take it away, everybody.
All right.
A fabulous song, an exclusive is the word I'm gonna use, with the ridiculously talented Jon Wyatt.
Baby at my doorstep, show me how to feel emotion. Baby at my doorstep, yeah. Please just stay until the morning. Yeah, I'll be killing to be chilling with a girl like you. I really need you after everything that I've been through. Still bleeding, but my heart won't pump no juice, cause it was pumping for you. Now I can't take this abuse, and I'd be lying if I said I thought you felt that too. I'm just trying to make you see that I'm the guy for you. But Baby, it's a fact, anyone will tell you that I'm only lonely cause I see you haven't crossed my path. Is it cause I got no cash? Cause I ain't that jacked? Cause I'll never be able to grow a mustache? Listen here, no problem, I got beer for the sorrow. If it's true, I'll be taking my love back. Baby, baby, at my doorstep, show me how to feel emotion. Baby, baby, at my doorstep, yeah. Please just stay until the morning. Yeah, it's time for life to begin again. I'm not talking about a hookup or a one-night stand. No, I'm talking about the stuff that sticks around until the end. The magic little thoughts that turn a boy into a man. It's in my soul, I gotta know. I got the feeling grass is greener at the end of the road. But I can't do it on my own, I don't wanna be alone. Baby, throw me a phone, give me the number to your phone. I'd really like to take you out sometime on a date. Get what you like, but baby, please don't order steak. I know you're worth it, I just can't afford the plate. And if you leave, it's fine, you would have been a big mistake. Baby, baby, at my doorstep, show me how to feel emotion. Oh, baby, baby, at my doorstep, yeah. Please just stay until the morning. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah. Yeah, all right now. Yeah, chicken.
That was fabulous. And when do you think that that's going to be available to the wonderful world of the public out there?
In probably a month or so. Yep.
Well, you know what? I really appreciate you sharing that with me. I mean, with our relationship in the past, and I mean your time with the visuals, and I fell in love with you when we looked at the when we met in that church. If you remember, it was at the Roxy in the church back, and you were performing in front of hundreds of people.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. I'm looking forward to getting that song out. It sounds. What I just did there was just like live on the fly. But all the drums and stuff, and it's like a produced song. It sounds much more radio worthy. Yeah, that's sort of a scratch track. This is what the song sort of is. That's the fun idea of it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the actual song out there for people to hear.
It was very boppy. I was in right from lyric number one.
Nice.
It really does suck you in, and it reminds me of a band I can't remember in the 90s where they did something similar, but it has this really cool feel of it's fun, it's boppy, it has an old school rock feel to it, in my opinion, mixed in with the rap lyrics that you do. And I could see in the emotions of your face when you're singing this, you're in the moment. I'm there with you. It's like we chatted with earlier. I'm not looking at my phone going, hey, let me like this post over here. I'm in that moment with you, and it's so inviting, and I appreciate that.
Nice. Yeah. It's still sort of a fresh thing. Like, I never used this drum kit. Like, that's the first time I actually tried to put it through loop pedal, but it was okay. It sounded cool. It was I like to sort of stretch the boundaries of what I think I'm capable of. I'm like, yeah, I can do all that, but what if I make it even harder for myself? That's I mean, at the end of the day, that sort of helps me grow. Even when, a lot of the times, the first time that I try stuff, it doesn't quite work out. That's how I get better. I push myself to do things that suck. And when I start to get better at those things that used to suck, the things that I sucked at before are now like even stronger. So, I mean, I'm at the point now where it's like I can, if it's just me and an acoustic guitar, it's like piece of cake, because I've sort of pushed the boundaries beyond that. And because of that, I've, cultivated the other skills that I started off with that were just as, scratchy.
So when we talk about pushing ourselves, challenging ourselves, is there an instrument out there that you were like, man, one day that's the one that I'm going to go after?
Like I've always thought that about saxophone. It would be super cool. It would be super cool. But the thing is, like, I have, stuff like this, and I got all the saxophone sounds in the world, and Yeah, so I'm at the point where like I'm proficient on the piano. I got one in front of me, and I can hold the groove down on the drums, and I'm pretty decent with the guitar, and I can rip a bass. So it's like I feel like I got everything that I need to be successful in music production. So yeah, I would totally like love to learn saxophone, but I think it comes to a point where it's like you gotta sort of ignore your weaknesses and cultivate your strengths.
So I have time for one last question for you, John. Here,
Sure.
um, what makes Jon Wyatt smile?
What makes John Wyatt smile? I mean, honestly, nothing. And this is super honest. Like nothing makes you smile more than playing at a live show and just being with like a small crowd. Like I play at this bar and it's there's 8 tables or something like that, and when they're all engaged and it's not like they're yeah, they clap at the end of it, but it's like we're all in that together. We're all experiencing it together, and sometimes you know that sometimes it doesn't work out where it's like it's the best music or anything like that. But it's not always about having the best music. It's about spreading the best energy that you can, and it's about just being as connected with your audience as you can be and making them feel like I'm so glad that I came out tonight because that was so much fun. And it almost always is just exactly like that. So I mean, live music makes me smile more than anything, for sure, playing it.
That's awesome, John. Listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me. I really appreciate all the music that you're putting out to the world, the positive vibes, the messages that you have, and especially that song. Like, I'm pretty excited for it to come out. You're gonna have to send me a message saying when it's out. I'm following you on Spotify. I see your YouTube
Nice.
stuff. So don't forget about me when you're rich and famous, of course, and you there. But no, let me know when that song comes out,
Yeah, man.
the album art, whatever the case may be. That was really cool. I really appreciate it. That's all the time I have for you today, John. Again,
Totally.
thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Everybody, Jon Wyatt, check him out. Google him, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever he's on. Spotify for sure.
Yep.
Check out
Spotify,
Childhood
mostly
Music.
Instagram. Yeah.
Sorry, say it again.
I say, Spotify and all the streaming stuff, but mostly Instagram is where I'll be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's under Jon Wyatt, right?
Yeah, it's John. That's Jon dot Wyatt. That's Wyatt dot music. Jon Wyatt music.
Check out Childhood Music if you haven't already, because that's a personal favorite of mine. John, please keep being amazing and awesome. I look forward to chatting with you in the future, buddy. Everybody out there, smile to inspire. Have a wonderful day.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me.